So is the East Side market crashing? Is everything going to pot? What is happening with IT versus AI, the millionaire's tax? Lots to take a look at on the East Side. So as we go into the summer months, typically a slower season, typically a lull in the greater Seattle area, what can Bellevue and the East Side expect? As you can see in the key on the right, we are evaluating 4 areas: Renton, Redmond, Woodinville, and Bellevue, and seeing how they compare this summer to last summer, as well as talking about what we expect moving forward into the fall market. So right now we have a smoothed data set. We are using an average of 3 months because monthly is just too ugly, a little hard to see trends, a little hard to interpret. And we're looking at median sales prices here. So overall, we can see in the purple line some softening. That's Bellevue, our biggest downward moving market, 10% down year over year compared to where we were last June. I'm recording this in July 2026. We are looking at the Northwest MLS latest research here and pulling directly from their data to see how this June compares to last June. We release new data at the end of every month, so make sure you subscribe to see what happens next month when we get the July data set released. So over here, what we are seeing is a general softening, although Woodinville relatively protected, only 1.5% down year over year to what we would have expected before. Looking at our next data set is new listings. This is how many people are choosing to list their homes. And I would say we are fairly comparable to where we were last year. We've had a growing number of new homes listed every year since it really came to a grinding halt in 2022 when interest rates went from 3% to 6% almost overnight. We had a lot of people locked in. They had a great mortgage rate because they had refinanced and they did not want to sell. But, life goes on. People move. People get laid off from their jobs, family reasons, all sorts of things. People may want to be moving. And we've seen that kind of unlocking from the golden handcuffs of the great interest rates as we get closer to, we get farther from that big shock to interest rates. So that being said, we have seen the most people listing this summer, spring and summer here, compared to where we were last year. So we do have, from a supply and demand perspective, more supply on the market, and this is showing us currently the number of homes listed for sale, the number of homes that buyers have to choose from, and this is higher than ever, again reflecting an increased supply of homes, making it easier for buyers to be a little bit more relaxed. They can look around. They don't have to make an offer the first hot second that they see a home they like. They can take their time and do a little bit of shopping. So pending sales are down. This means how many offers are being made and accepted. A little bit down, 10%, 11% in Woodinville and Bellevue, 15% and almost 18% in Redmond. Of course, we're seeing layoffs at Microsoft and in other associated tech work. A lot of change with the IT people that I speak with. Closings are a result of pending sales, but not everything that goes pending sticks all the way to closing. So we are seeing some softening here too. Again, Redmond leading the way with 17% down year over year. Let's take a look at days on market. Now we've got half your homes selling in 9 days or less. So, we still are not in desperate straits by any means. If you could sell your home in a week, you're doing great, and half of us are. On the other hand, we're seeing the average bump up. So for the half that doesn't sell in that first week, we are seeing it take quite a bit longer to go under contract. 3 weeks is more the expectation there, it looks like. And so this disparity reflects a lot of times people pricing too high and the market kind of rejecting that price without coming down and making an offer. So if we switch down here to take a look at what percentage of our original list price are we selling for. Again, in the past, the East Side was selling for well above, look at this, Redmond was selling for 106% of asking price on an average day, and now they're selling for 97%. So again, we are seeing a lot of homes have a little bit more negotiating power. The median here looks like about 98% of list price, and a lot of times we're seeing price drops in order to find that right price for the home. So again, softening and buyers being more aggressive with what they can offer. Price per square foot also falling. We can see big changes here in Bellevue, 8% down, Woodinville, 7% down, Redmond, 6% down, Renton, 4%. I would say the tech boom of real estate did expand down into Renton. We saw a lot of new construction in that area, but of course it was not the hub or the nexus, which would have been more centralized around the Bellevue, Redmond area. When it comes to showings, I generally tell people if you've had 10 people through the property, you should have had an offer on the home. If not, they're disappointed. Their expectations are not what they saw online to what they're getting when they visit the property, and so you're not converting. Is there something you can do with presentation or at the end of the day pricing to get people to convert and be willing to overlook sometimes the faults of the home that there's just nothing you can do about? The layout, the size of the bedrooms, the proximity to road noise, the ceiling heights, the finish levels, etc. If you've done all you can do to maximize the interior and exterior presentation, then this is where you end up going down on price. So not a brilliant story, not the best year for Bellevue and the east side, but certainly homes are still moving. We're selling for 97% of asking price. The sky is not falling. It's not the end of the world. However, as I see, the tech market continuing to soften, AI becoming more and more of a presence, it will be very interesting to see how the Bellevue market is able to pivot and keep track of that. Seattle seems to continue to be shooting itself in the foot at every turn with 40% office vacancy rates, a lot of anti-business policies, skyscraper buildings they're selling for pennies on the dollar, developers going bankrupt. So a lot of softening in the Seattle job market and office space market is coming to Seattle, or coming to Bellevue, with Bellevue vacancy and property values rising in the short term. My question is, will this continue as we move forward into the new AI-enabled age? Typically, we see a little bump up, a little run up in activity in September and October. So if you are looking to sell and summer is not your time, get things ready and put it on the market in September. See how you do. If you're thinking about getting out, this would be a wonderful window to pursue that. If you're thinking about getting in, the negotiating power is on your side right now.